A leading environmentalist hopes that one day, when there's a political will from Cambodian leaders, the goal to sustainably protect wildlife in the southern Cardamom mountain will be achieved. The area is abundant with different species of wildlife and will not last forever if it is leased out to private companies for development. Suwanna Gauntlett, CEO and founder of Wildlife Alliance, talked to Kimseng of VOA Khmer when she was here in Washington, D.C.
Good afternoon, Suwanna.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for stopping by at VOA and give us an interview on your work. So tell us about how you do in Cambodia on the wildlife protection there.
Wildlife Alliance is a partner of the Royal Government of Cambodia in the protection of wildlife throughout the country, first of all, with a police unit that is composed of military police and foresters and Wildlife Alliance. And it's a 24/7 mobile unit that is more of an urban unit that works on the roads and national borders and in cities and intercepts smuggling shipments to Vietnam, usually on the way to China.
So what do you normally intercept? You found any perpetrator? Who are those people?
A total of 3,200 perpetrators have been arrested since July 2001 through our efforts. And these people are either middlemen or are the really low-level village drivers bringing in the shipments to the middlemen.
Any military involvement in that?
A fair amount of military are involved.
Armed people, maybe.
Armed people, yes, that's right.
So what are your main challenges in kind of protecting this big area in Cambodia?
In addition to this police unit going around the country, we are working with the Forestry Administration and the Ministry of Environment to protect the southern cardamoms, which is a big chunk of the southwest of the country. And we started in 2002 when the Freeway 48 linked Cambodia to Thailand, creating a huge entry point for commercial poachers. 37 elephants and 12 tigers were killed just a few months before we arrived. So the government asked us for help to stop the poaching and start creating ranger stations along the road that would also discourage people from burning the forest and grabbing land. There was a huge wave of land grabbing when we arrived.
Yeah, I saw some of your clips, and you were able to successfully stop elephant poaching in the last 10 years. You said there were only 4 elephants killed. So can you tell us what are your kind of key secret in protecting all these wildlife with less damage to those?
Our key ingredients, our secret ingredients, are first of all law enforcement, and then very thorough education throughout all the villages and military camps, and all the military and government offices, alerting them that if they continue killing elephants, they will go to prison, and the law requires 5 to 7 years for killing an endangered species. So that was the strongest message. And then the second thing is working with the villagers on helping them develop alternative jobs, alternative livelihoods. That combination of law enforcement, education, and livelihoods has been very successful.
So any kind of severe punishment so far? What's the case?
Yes, there has been a notorious hunter that has a record of killing at least 30 tigers in Cambodia and over 40 elephants that had his name registered in all the provinces being searched. There was a search warrant for him, and Wildlife Alliance and the military police and the foresters, we were able to arrest him. And he got 7 years prison in Kokong prison.
That's heavy.
Very heavy, from 2005 to recently. He just got out.
You seem to kind of show this kind of success. So what sort of cooperation you get from the Cambodian government on this?
I think that we've been very fortunate from the beginning because not only has the Cambodian government welcomed us with open arms, but has asked us to intervene They like our direct approach, which is we don't really study the animals or study the forest or do a lot of workshops. We actually intervene directly on the ground with the government rangers. We report back to central government. So we're really in between subnational and national government, where we help the laws of the country, which are really good laws, to be implemented at the subnational level. And as in every country, the biggest problem is that national policies, directives, and laws are usually not implemented very well at the subnational level because it's very remote and nobody's there to monitor.
I see.
So we've had a very good relationship with the government in that sense.
And right now, what are the most endangered species in your protected area?
The most endangered species are definitely the Asian elephants. We've been able to protect them quite well in our area. We've had only 4 deaths, as you mentioned, until 2007, and 0 killings since 2008. Unfortunately, the Indo-Chinese tiger has completely disappeared now. We arrived too late for that. Other endangered species are still on the rare and vulnerable list, such as the pangolin and the Malayan sun bear. But in our opinion, they are so severely hunted that they will soon graduate to the endangered listing on IUCN's list.
I see. It's not just the animal alone, but in your area you also take care of forests. So how good or bad the situation of the forestry in the area right now?
In our area, the forest has been preserved so far because of our integrated approach. But the battle is not won yet. We are in our 11th year, and when we started, I had planned that it would take 20 years to secure the southern cardamoms. In the beginning, there was no sub-decree at all. This is just a permanent forest reserve that can be allocated to private sector for commercial plantations. And then we were able to work with the legislation to get a small piece secured along Road 48. And now our next step will be to secure the larger piece. And after that is done, the whole area will be secured. But the most difficult challenge really is private sector.
I see, yeah. When you talk about secure the area, what do you mean?
I think what I really mean is there will be no more large land allocations of dense evergreen forest, which is rainforest, to commercial export development. So that's sugarcane, palm oil, rubber, and other crops.
So how can you do that? Is there anything that you can dream of to get so that this won't be leased out?
Well, this is part of our secret ingredients, that we do a lot of advocacy directly with top government. And we try to elicit the participation of every single government stakeholder in the ownership and responsibility towards this incredible watershed that has so much water that it is strategically important not only for Cambodia but for the whole region. It regulates rainfall, very high rainfall, 3,000 to 4,000 millimeters of rain per year, supplies water to 22 major waterways, and feeds 3,700 villages. So we're talking about livelihoods here. And then all the hydropower that has been planned for the cardamoms is planned to produce 20% of Cambodia's electricity. If you start giving away that watershed, there will not be enough water for the hydropower dams.
I see. I know you have a lot of success stories from working on the ground for over 10 years, but tell me one success story that you think you like very much about your work in the past over 10 years.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about this. I think one of the successes that we've accomplished hand in hand with the Forestry Administration is the cancellation or prevention of 34 economic land concessions in the southern cardamoms, representing a total forest surface area of 2/3 the size of Yellowstone Park.
So in the longer term, what would help you to kind of make this area sustain?
The sub-decree for the larger area would definitely be an achievement and would help secure the area for the future.
how long far away you are far away from there?
I think it's political will that is missing for the moment. There are a lot of people who would prefer to convert this rainforest into commercial crops. So the doors are closed for the moment, and the sub-decree is not advancing.
So you think it's going to come to your side in the next 1 or 2 or 3 years?
Yes, I do.
Thank you so much, Suwanna, for talking to VOA today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.